Glorious day to you, my friends. Katiara Hakaya, Arshashaya ka Ananahaska Itiara Hasakaya Rata. Welcome to day number 36 of Shine, Stargate Heart, Illuminate Your Natural Essence. Kiatoro Okashanaro Hukutura Shasha, where we are exploring our heart center, Niharata Arshihitaka, for 108 days, and we're on day number 35. We are chanting Om Mani Padme Hum 108 times using the Mala of Joy, Hukutura Hushikatira, where we split up the inner mind, subtly split up the 108 beads of a mala into 9 groups of 12, Kushahayu Kuturu, where each of the 9 groups represents one of our chakras in our Merkaba, our light body, our ascension vehicle. I'm sorry, I'm at a park, a new park, and just the various people walking by, and there's a tree that a pink dogwood tree that I ran into. We'll get back to the Mala of Joy. And it's so beautiful. It's young, and it's flowering. It's amazing. But I noticed that the plaques, so this is more of a memorial park, because a lot of the plaques that are here are from, I think I'm in Edmund Lyon Park in East Rochester, New York. So there are many different plaques around all the various trees and benches for people who have passed on and who have donated to this park, because it's an amazing small park here. And we're angled up to get the tree. It's really the star of the show. But also not to get any of the surroundings, because the park's small enough that we get houses over there, we get playgrounds, we don't want to capture kids, there's a baseball field over there. So less distracting for us and respecting their privacy. And plus the water in the leaves and the water in the trunk going up on all the branches. Subtle amounts of water. So back to the Mala of Joy, we break up the 108 beads into 9 groups of 12. And each of the 9 groups represents one of the chakras. Starting off at the bottom of our Merkaba, Utahurayata, Vasundhara, the Earth Star Chakra, Niharati Karyotuku. And then the lower 3 chakras are the lower 3 points on our Merkaba. Besides the bottom, we got Muladhara, our root chakra, Svadhisthana, our sacral chakra. English just isn't working. And you'll hear things like that. Baseball, Niyatariata. A dad and his 2 sons are practicing. That's the essence of East Rochester. So big on baseball, Ikuturu, Hushkaya, and Svadhisthana, our sacral chakra. And we're on the final day of Svadhisthana, subtly working. This is day number 36. And tomorrow we move up to Manipura, the fire chakra, our solar plexus. So we're getting a little bit of light codes, but not really. Then we move up to Anahata, our heart center, the heart chakra, Vishuddha, the throat chakra, Anya or Agnya, the third eye chakra, our crown chakra, Sahasrara, and at the top of our Merkaba, Kashi, Sokoro Urhunaniniera Tata, Vyapini, the soul star chakra. So if you find, actually I got one. Ooh, Tahari Hitsugane in my pocket, one of my pocket stones. I have an amethyst Merkaba. So let's see if I can actually do this. Okay. Cool. So, English is escaping me here. Vasundhara down at the bottom, Vyapini up at the top, and then the three down here. 1, 2, 3, whichever way you want. Those are our lower three chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus. And then up, our throat, third eye, and crown. Okay? Now you ask, where's the heart? Where's the heart? So if you take all the points and go to the center of the Merkaba, they all intersect at one point. Our heart center and the center of the Merkaba. So I think today, the last day of Svadhisthana, is the most important day. And I'll tell you why. So each of the chakras is made up of 9 seeds, okay? So we're breaking up these 12 seeds into 4 groups of 3. And each of the 3, the 3 seeds, each of the 4 groups represents one of the vritti, the ways in Samavritti Pranayama, okay? And all that means is same way, same mode. Vritti is important, okay? Because let's talk about Samavritti. Vritti, V-R-I-T-T-I, Yakatahirata. This is going to be difficult because I got to keep looking down at the camera when I'm used to looking straight at the camera. So this is going to take more mental prowess here. So Samavritti, we breathe in for a count of 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, or 8, or higher, or less, depending on you. So we breathe in for a count of 4. We hold for a count of 4. We breathe out for a count of 4. And we hold for a count of 4. And then we continue that box breath. Same, sama. So each of the 4 sides of this box is the same length. But vritti means so much more. I like the first 3 Yoga Sutras because I call it the Yogi Waltz, because that's really all you need. Okay, yoga begins now, 1.1. Okay, the practice of yoga. And whatever yoga is for you, your breath, and whatever you're doing right now is your practice. And then 1.2, yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. So modifications, nirodha is modifications, or that's how it's commonly translated. But the further we progress in yoga and the further we progress in meditation, we dive into the deeper meaning of nirodha, without change, modifications. So we're trying to keep the same mind through everything. Okay? So it's modalities of consciousness, vritti. It's so many different things, and it's based on RTA, the root, righteousness, the right way. And that's what we're trying to find out. We're exploring our heart centers to find the right way of living for us. And Svadhisthana, the water chakra, our emotion chakra, or our pleasure chakra, is so important. And many people call it mastering each of the chakras. And mastering is a strong word because it comes with a lot of pressure. So Abraham Hicks says, well, if you can't master abundance, okay, why don't you try mastering satisfaction, mastering stability? Okay, satisfaction's a good one. I'm satisfied with that result. Okay, I'm satisfied with the way that dinner turned out. I'm satisfied with the conversation that we had. I'm satisfied with just spending time with you, or in our heart centers. I'm satisfied spending time with you. If you're still with me, and if you've been here since the beginning, then congratulations to you. Uttahari Hakasha Etzanatara. Mastering our emotions, or being satisfied with our emotional response. And on this last day, I'm going to take some of my water. Water is life, my friends. And we're just going to do a couple of drops into my hand. This is the amount of water. We're stabilizing, we're harmonizing, we're getting to our lowest energy state, 1111, of our emotional responses. If we can have sama vritti in our interactions with everyone, the same, if we can become the observer, that way when somebody says something totally stupid or annoying or anything else, where beforehand, before we mastered our emotions, we would have responded, we would have confronted, we would have said, "You're totally stupid. Why are you saying that to me?" And be all confrontational because we're reacting to what they have to say instead of responding or not responding. That's the Wu Wei, the effortless action or the non-response, the way of no way, as Bruce Lee said. That's what he called his kunjit do, yeah. And there's an interesting movie on Netflix about the birth of the dragon, which tells a story. And it's a story, but it's a cool story. Okay, how much truth is in it? It's about this legendary fight between Bruce Lee and Juan Jackman, a Shaolin priest, and this perspective of it was that the priest was teaching, the Shaolin monk was teaching Bruce Lee the power of chilling with the emotions, not letting your anger and your pride and everything else overwhelm your focus. Getting to the state of no mind. Getting to the state of no mind. Because then you can respond. Okay, and one of the wise things that the Shaolin monk said was, lesson number 1, know your enemy. Know your opponent, know everyone else, okay? But in Kung Fu or martial arts, you have an opponent, okay? Know your opponent and then know yourself. If you know your opponent and you know yourself, everything else plays out in eternity. And you're not attached to any outcome because you understand that it's the interaction, the interplay. We can let go of fear. Hopefully we let go of fear when we worked on Muladhara, but fear is yet another emotion. It's another creation of our mind. Katiriyata hariyarto. Another attachment to what is. An attachment is the blocker of crown chakra, sahasrara. An illusion is the blocker of the third eye, kiyata noro okutara hiachacha. And the biggest illusion is separation, that we're separate from everything else. This tree, we're really one with the tree. Whether we see the other entity, like the tree, as conscious or sentient, that's a different story. But if we can see it all as energy, then once we get to those higher thought forms, we can just see it as just another arrangement of energy. And it's nothing to fear. And death is, one of our biggest fears, because we don't know what's going to happen at the end. And I kind of hope that I've lost my fear of death. I'm not sitting there jumping off cliffs well, yeah, I am, but I mean, not cliffs into rock to test it. But I think I have a healthy respect for it. But mastering, being satisfied with our emotions and our emotional responses. I like that, emotional responses. Can we be the observer of the situation? And one of my canned phrases that has helped me detach from a conversation and not get all entwined in it is, that's an interesting viewpoint that allows me to not attach to, not engage in the emotionality of the situation, not to be confrontational. That way I can say, okay, I'm still in listening mode. I'm interested in your opinion, no matter how wrong the judgmental side of me wants to react to it. And then another thing is active listening. Can I keep listening to the story? And so then after a while, after I feel a pause, then I say, okay, hold on, let me check my understanding of what you're trying to say. And I repeat the story back, or whatever they were trying to say, in my own words. And if I get a yes, I'm done. I'm at understanding. So no matter how, if I can engage in that conversation in a non-judgmental way, then true communication can happen. And I don't have to attach, and I'm not attaching because I'm listening. And their opinion isn't necessarily a judgment on me, even if it is. There's another canned, I've been collecting all these canned statements over the years. And one of them is, your opinion of me is none of my business. It's still just a viewpoint. We can take those things in when we're reflecting on who we are and how we interact. Do we say stupid things that offend people? Do we do it often? If so, yeah, well, maybe that's something we want to change. But that's all up to you when you go within and have a conversation with your inner being. Are you being loving and kind? Are you being compassionate? Are you being joyful? Are you being harmonious? Those are 4 just good litmus tests, because those are the 4 walls of, as the Buddhists call, Brahma Vihara, 4 major attributes of the abode of God. And by allowing God to live through us in our heart center, by being more compassionate, we notice God living in our lives more. By being more kind and loving, we see the result of God living in our lives. And if we want to keep seeing that evidence, that is the abundance. All of this manifestation stuff is about getting what we want, but can we detach from it? Can we detach from it and still state to the universe what we truly want, instead of, I want it and I want it now? Okay. Now that somebody's leaf blowing, and Dad's running with his child in a stroller, that's nice. Every time I'm running by Mom or Dad, they're pushing their kid in a stroller while running, I'm going, great job, Mom, great job, Dad. Because they're finding a way. They're making it work. They're getting their exercise, they're keeping their kid occupied. Win-win. So let us begin to meditate. No pressure, though, when I say this is the most important day. Just because I'm assessing, I'm putting value on it. Kisiyata. Only from the other side can you see that it has value. And only depending on what we're working on. And just because I see that our mastering our emotions or keeping our emotions in check, or at least understanding our own emotions. Because one of the biggest things that was hard for me to do when I was younger was identify how I'm feeling. And then when I got to the point where I could at least say, I'm mad, I'm angry. Oh, I'm angry because you said this. And when I got to that stage, it was like, oh, that's liberating. I don't have to hold on to this anger. I don't have to, or hold on to these feelings that I can't identify. I just knew that they were overwhelming. And it's just like, I couldn't sort out. I couldn't put names on it. I just was like, ah. So, because we all get that way. But if we can identify it quickly, at least then we can communicate with this other person if it's necessary. And if we're harmonious in how we feel and how we're acting, then those emotions just come and go, and we can detach quickly, and we can get back to interacting. And then it's not a big deal, and we can get on with living life the way we really want to, as opposed to being overwhelmed by our emotions. We're moving into Manipura tomorrow, where we're going to deal with, I want it, and I want it now. Which is that's the pride and the ego, deciding what it wants and then doing whatever it takes to get it. But that's tomorrow. Today, I did a lot of talking. Now let's drop everything that I said and let's chill with ourselves, breathing and chanting. In the shade of a tree on this beautiful day. So I invite you to close your eyes. And let us focus our awareness on our breath. Slowly lengthening our breath. And slowly lengthening our exhales. Let's take a few more breaths like that. Whether you're sitting or lying down or sitting in seated meditation, I ask you to do so with a straight spine. Natara Arya Katara Asana Hati Dedi. Let's get all the last little jiggles out. Let's do so with a straight spine, so that the energy flows more freely. Maybe take a sip of water. Maybe tomorrow I'll get it right, or get it better by saying all this before we close our eyes and focus on our breath. It is what it is. Hisaya akatirahana. As we feel how it feels when the air enters and fills up our lungs. And feel how it feels as we release this air. As we feel the coolness of the air coming in. And we feel the warmth of the air as we release it. As we breathe in and we exhale, we release. We're blowing the leaves and the debris out of the yard, out of our lungs, out of our energetic field. And let us focus our awareness on our heart centers. And in our heart centers is the home of our holy fire. And our holy fire is the source of our bright light. And every breath that we take with intention fans the flames of our holy fire and brightens our already bright light. As we invite and allow the holy fire to flow in, through, and around us all, in every way and everywhere and everywhen. Nihiska a tiarahatita, ashahaya a kanahia saayata atahara hasotoho. Thank you for joining us. Niharahatare sahatita. Creating a safe place for us to meditate, to chant, to breathe, and to be with our inner being. And if you have not done so already, I invite you to start the divine flow. Let us take the energy in our heart centers. And let us move it up through our chakras. Move it up through Vishuddha, through Anya, through Sahasrara, and up through Vyapini, the soul star chakra. And let us move it up through the realms, into the highest source of consciousness, the highest realm of heaven, where there is no ego, there is only loving support, there is no judgment, where there is true, unconditional love, where it always respects free will, nihisa atihara hakatoro unahasa, and the power is unlimited. Now this is the true power. This is not the power of the ego and the power of want. This is the power of creation. This is the power of love. And let us bring this pure holy fire back down through the realms, through Vyapini, Sahasrara, Anya, Vishuddha, and back down into Anahata, our heart center. Thoroughly mixing this energy. And let us ground this energy effectively, by moving it down through the chakras. Let us take this combined energy down through Manipura, Svadhisthana, Muladhara, and out of Vasundhara, the Earth Star Chakra, growing roots down into Mother Earth, through Gaia, to Pachamama, whatever name you call her, no utur hashayatoto, down, 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 wrapping these roots around the heart of Gaia, kutur ushanahesakiarata, giving her a great big hug, ushahanate arhakasisiyarata, and bringing back her grounded, sustaining, nurturing love, niarahakaturohushko, up through the root system, niorohokatoroshko, through Vasundhara, Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipura, and back into Anahata, our heart center. Thoroughly mixing this energy together. Nihi tukoro okoro yoroto. Now let us turn this process over to our inner being and not think about it with our mind anymore, and allow our inner being to continue this divine flow naturally, effortlessly. Ni toko ohdana ati riarahanaska u tuhuruha kashaya asahanata isahoto uruha katayaniarha. And on the exhale, with intention, hisakatari haratotoko, let us push this combined energy and refreshed energy in our heart centers, out of our heart, out of all of our chakras, out of our physical body, pushing it out of our energetic body, out into every aspect of our awareness, in every way, and everywhere, and everywhen. Nihisko or hototora shaya. Nitiarahasa a tiarahanatiarahakatara u usha hukonohorata. And let us create in our mind's eye hiso to uruhukata, a chest of your creation. Ni to uruhukatari asanara. Let us create it of light. And in this chest, let us put in all of our fears, all of our doubt, all of our hopes and dreams, our anger, our worry, all of our to-do list, our homework, all of the projects we have to get done, our shopping list. What are we going to do later on? What are we going to do the rest of the weekend? What are we going to do next week? What happened last week, last year? Whatever it is, let's put it in. And let us allow our inner being also to put in what it feels might distract us from our time with our breath, from our time with the chant, from our time with our inner being, our heart center. And whatever else that it feels no longer serves, that you are ready to release. Nihisa ayata ariukononoto. And let us close the lid on this chest. Nihikotora ushkanayata, and let's set it aside. Kotora ushana huto uruhuto. It will be there for you at the end of meditation, Nihitukuruhusho, if you so choose. Ukuturuhuganayata. And the process is, we will start out with one Aum, elongating the three sounds of Om. A, U, M. Giving them equal weight. We will chant Om Mani Padme Hum 108 times using the mala of joy. I will keep count. We will do so on the 8 count if you're a musician or if you enjoy counting. I will let you know when we move up through the chakras, and I'll let you know when it is the last one, Kuturuhushukuto. And then again, we will close out with one Aum, Kuchutu Usana Hasikirta. And be easy on yourself. If you hiccup, if you swallow, if you mess up a chant, just pick up with the next one. And if a thought comes in, Kutura Ushana Notoko, let us just turn our awareness back to the chant, Kosuhuto Uruhanatiarata, and our breath and the counting. And that thought will go away on its own. Kutura Ushana Hasaeta Kayata. Ding ding. And be easy on yourself. I have messed up in every meditation so far. I have yawned, I have needed a sip of water, I have swallowed at the wrong time, I have hiccuped, I have missed Om, and even yesterday I missed Om and Mani, Isokotora Ushakata, because I was too busy talking or swallowing or whatever it was. Be easy on yourself. Go shoto utohonahiarta. Just pick it up with the next one. Go so utohiarto. A few more breaths. Kotoro ursana hatetira hakatata. A breath in for Aum. Aum. Starting off with Vasundhara and a breath in to chant. Otu chanahasiya ka atara akaya asanahasiya rata. Koto ushanahasa akatitaha.
Om Mani
Koturu unahatatira. Haturu usha shananir yaka atatira hataraha.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Koro hukoro utananadi ta ari harta. Ashanata artana atara hishaya akotoro.
Padme Hum.
Uturu husana asasira hasiyaka. Utu unohosha. Ayahakatara asanitoro.
Padme
Arhusho ukonara awashia hasa. Haturu ukana hasasita. Atanare isa. Ashahayaka atiriyaraha. Kotoro unhonana herata. Haturu ukana hasa. Ashana hasasi. Paratihiki arahasanaha. Aturu uchanata artitiraha. Hukosha aya atanahe. Atuhuru usanati tiarahasaya. Arawahakaya. Ataharashono. Utohoroka. Atuhura ushanahatiaraha. Kananatihi. Arahashiyaka asa. Haturu ushashananiraha. Hukoro osanaha sisira. Hotoro o ushanaha sisi. Yaya akanahera. Hotoro oshana. Arahakahi shashira. Hatutu ushashananira hatakiana anaha. Moving up to Muladhara. Hotoro usanata titiraha. Kotoro unanaha titiraha. Kotoro usha shashirana. Kotoro usanaha tatita. Kotoro unanaha saichiarahatara aka. Hotoro o kanaha tatiraha. Hotoro ushanatita aya hakatiraha. Hasana hata arhashi. Kono no orohokoto. Utawahara arashana hesa. Hatira a kanahesasi. Arawakashanoro o husohoko. Atawahashishi. Kanahasa ahatariyarta. Haturu u kanahatiraha. Haturu ushanotoro. Harawahasa Ashanahakiyarati. Haturu ushanahatatu. Hatana hatari isahakatita. Hatuara arshia. Kutur unohorokata. Kanahatitakari. Ataharahishayaka. Haturu utanahatiraha. Hatira anahasiya. Hatukoro hosha. Atanaharihi sakare. Haturu u kanahatu urushashaya. Hatuno no oro tokai hata. Aratukushanoho. Otohonoro ushashaya. Haturu u kanahati isa a. Atanahariyata. Hokoro o shanahatudo. Hatura asasi. Konohotoro ushana. Moving up to Svadhisthana. Hatura ushana hisiyara haka eha. Hokonora arshahayaha. Atonohora hoka. Aratokonoro Hoka Shishira
Padme Hum
Haturu Ushana Hoturu Hoka Akanaheata Arteturu Hushanoro
Mani Padme
Kanahisa
Hum
Aya Hakatira Hata Hotoro Una Hatakutorosho
Om
Arawahashiyara
Mani Padme
Akanahaturu
Hum
Hushahayasa Haturu Ukanahasisira Hakayaha
Om
Awahashishiara
Mani
Konororo
Padme Hum
Atuhunoro Hoko Uturu Ushashaniniraha Hatura
Om
Anahasaya
Mani Padme Hum
Kotoro Usanahasai Arawahashishia Akanahasoro
Om
Hoko
Mani Padme
Aturu
Hum
Ushanahasasira Hakaya Atanaharitya Huturu Ushanahasasi
Om
Hatuahashishira
Mani Padme
Arakanaharuturu Hukono Ashana Atara Hashira Hasia Ukono
Om
Otohorohota
Mani Padme
Shashanana
Hum
Arahasikoto Otoro no Horoshishira Atana
Om
Arshahesaka
Mani
Huturu
Padme
Ukanahatu
Hum
Turoho
Om
Kanahasisira
Mani Padme
Kotoro
Hum
Ukanahasasiya Natatarihi Aratukonoroho
Om
Huturu
Mani
Ushashani
Padme
Arhaka.
Hum
Moving up to Muladhara.
Om
Tutunahawa
Mani
Hashiera
Padme
Arhiakanara
Hum
Hasukotoroho Hutuwa Hashishiaraha Atanohotoro
Om
Hukotoroho
Mani
Haturu
Padme
Ushashanani
Hum
Arahakatira Haturu Ushashananaraha Atawaharahe
Om Mani
Atonohoro
Padme
Hukocharihi
Hum
Atuhuru Ushanati Arahakaihe Haturu Ukanohoro Hoka
Om
Arawashahi
Mani Padme
Akanaha
Hum
Sisiraha Haturu Utanahora Huko Atuhu Shasha
Om
Anahatira
Mani Padme
Hakana
Hum
Atatiri Arahakayata Arawahashasha Akanaharahuto
Om Mani
Utaharawa
Padme
Arshanahege
Hum
Atuhuru Ukanahasasirata Hatanara Agashishira
Om Mani
Harawahashiara
Padme Hum
Akanahorahukosho Uturu Ukanahasisiraha Atuto
Om Mani
Ushanahasisirahakaya
Padme Hum
Akanohorhuka Atanahara Hishayata Ara
Om
Aturu
Mani
Ushanati
Padme
Arahakiraha
Hum
Kanani Isa Atatahiraha Hoturu Hukanaharihi
Om Mani Padme
Atawahashishirahakato
Hum
Utoro Ono Hokotariheta Hutora Ashanahesa
Om Mani
Arahokonohoroho
Padme Hum
Uchawahasasiria Rahana Atahari Hikea Tanyana Haratuku
Om Mani
Korawashia
Padme Hum
Anahia. Moving up to Anahata. Tu
Om
Tutukoshana
Mani
Tiarahasisiara
Padme
Hakea
Hum
Awahashishiara Ayakanahara Hisa Haturu
Om
Ushanohotoro
Mani Padme
Harawa Ishiara
Hum
Asanato Oroko Hushana Hasisi Arahakanohoro Hoko
Om
Uturu
Mani
Ushashananiara
Padme
Hakeata
Hum
Arawahasasi Akanahariarata
Om
Koturu
Mani
Ushashananiaraha
Padme Hum
Hatuko Urshana Hasasu Arawahasasiraha Akanaharihi
Om
Sayatato
Mani Padme
Hartu Ushanati
Hum
Ihiata Arhakahia Arakohnoro O Ushanahasasiria
Om Mani
Arakanahasa
Padme Hum
Tearhakanara Tatira Harawashashira Anahasa Akanahara
Om
Hoko
Mani
Utoro
Padme
Ushanati
Hum
Ihia Kahayata Hutoro Unonara Hera Aranahira,
Mani
Aranahasaya,
Padme Hum
Haturu Ukanaha so Ukatoraha, Hatua Ashana Hasasira,
Om Mani
Ayakatoro Okana,
Padme Hum
Akanaha Sasiraha, Atoro Okanaha Sasira, Atanara
Om
Harashe,
Mani Padme
Arawahashaya,
Hum
Kosahanaotoro Hosho, Hutu Ushu Ukunoho,
Om Mani
Haturu Ashanahera,
Padme Hum
Anhasia, Ayakatara Hisonodo, Arashohono Otohorashishi,
Om Mani Padme
Natie
Hum
Anaha. Moving up to Vishuddha. Ahukoro
Om Mani
Unahasasiraha
Padme
Atiraha,
Hum
Arahukoto Uhushanaha Sasira, Anahakatiri Hisana Arirata,
Om Mani
Arhaya
Padme
Anahasira,
Hum
Hototo Oshana, Harawakashira, Akanahare Hesaya,
Om Mani
Otoro
Padme
Ukanaro
Hum
Kohoso, Awahashishira Hataraho, Hokunanara
Om
Ashahea,
Mani Padme
Awahashiaka,
Hum
Akanaharahoto, Huturo Hushanahesa,
Om
Arawahashishi,
Mani
Ayakanare
Padme
Hisoko,
Hum
Utoro Ukanahasasira, Arawahasa Akahe, Kanaha,
Om Mani
Arashehe,
Padme
Shiaratu
Hum
Unohorokota, Hawa Ashashiarata Arkanaharuto,
Om
Korohuskanaha Sisi,
Mani Padme
Arahakatiri
Hum
Arahana Asato, Utoro Ushanahasiata, Koranahasa
Om Mani
Shaya Asakati,
Padme Hum
Arakanahoro Ukonohoso, Huturo Ushanahiata,
Om
Akanahearata
Mani
Atihirata,
Padme Hum
Arahusono Otohorutu, Ushahanearatata, Kutara Ayakanarahasa,
Om Mani
Harahukoshano,
Padme Hum
Arawasisirahanatu, Ushahanadi Iaraha, Arakohosho
Om
Onohosoko O,
Mani Padme Hum
Haturabaha, Arakanaherasa, Arshana
Om
Ekahariartaha,
Mani Padme
Huturu Ushana
Hum
Hatuturu. Moving up to Anya.
Om
Ayahanahe,
Mani Padme
Kasanati
Hum
Arahaya, Arshahe Asa'u, Utuhuru Hushaya Kati,
Om
Ashahana
Mani
Asahaya,
Padme Hum
Arahokonoro Hosoto, Urawashaye, Yayaka Asanaha Sisi,
Om
Oturu
Mani
Ushanati
Padme
Arahaketa,
Hum
Kotoro Ukanahara, Arashihisa Ayakotoro,
Om
Uturu
Mani
Ushanati Tiaraha,
Padme Hum
Hatukonor Ukotora Hashiarta, Arawahasi,
Om
Harakanahearta,
Mani Padme
Arhuso
Hum
Kuchorawatina Naraha, Hashi Isa Atura Hukutoro,
Om
Koranahasa Akera,
Mani Padme
Artukuno O
Hum
Ushahayata Aritkana Hartu, Achutu Utakarawaha,
Om Mani
Korahana
Padme
Asahira,
Hum
Kashahanatira Harti, Hutoro Ukanahasa Atira,
Om
Atsa
Mani
Atira,
Padme
Huso Utoron
Hum
Untono, Utaharihisa A, Ashihisa, Yayakavarati,
Om Mani
Arhusono
Padme
Otokusho Hoyoto,
Hum
Kutur Ushanati Takarihara, Arhasa Akoto
Om
Otonorohoka,
Mani
Arhayacha,
Padme Hum
Arikanari, Aya Asanaha, Hoto Ushanoto Ora,
Om
Arkunohoso
Mani
Utohoroshia,
Padme Hum
Arahasi, Arsahna, Acho O Hokotoroha,
Om
Kishaya
Mani
Asanani,
Padme
Arihina
Hum
Aha. Moving up to Sahasrara.
Om
Hututu Usha,
Mani
Tai
Padme
Tarna,
Hum
Arashahasa aihe kichara hisana atuturhu. Hutorana arabashiyarta kasohonoto urata hita anahashi. Artukuno uruhusha karawahashiraha konata ata atihira. Shia sa akatiyaraha sanoho. Hutoro hushaya atukowana atihi isa atatarahasha. Koshananadi arahatutu. Hushonono kanahara asahayaka. Hutoro ushanatitiara. Arawakashi arakanahasasira atuno hukutoro hasha. I tataranayaraha. Karshahaya saha. Artukonohoro hukuto. Hutoro ushanahesakahe. Haturu usana uruhukata. Hutoro hasha. Askana hasasiraha. Artahanari artakashira. Hutoro usana hasasi. Konanata arha. Arasaka hasasiria. Atudu ushana hasahe. Hukoro usana hasasira. Titiarana hasaa. Kai hasahanaraha. Hutoro ushana hasi. Atanohoro hukotoro hosha. Ayahathanira. Aturo ushana hasasi. Moving up to Vyapini. Huturu usana. Shoyo ukohosha. Haturu usana titiraha katiraha. Aturu usana hasasira. Araba ashana turuhoko. Ashahani tiara hasana ati. Atuhokoro. Utuhoro hokashaye. Anahasira. Ataharhikatiraha. Hukuro usana hasayarha. Atuhutu utukanahasayara. Kasanahatitaka. Atuhurora okona. Hatiti artahanira. Utoro ushana hasaeke. Kanaharihita. Arhasa ekatara. Utoro ushana hasia. Ututo unahatakura hota. Arashahayaka asa akanahe. Horoahashaya. Asanahasisiraha. Hutoro usanahasihira. Anahasiyaka achira hokon. Orohokonahayara. Atahanari takarashahi. Sohutoro ukanaharahoshaya. Kona arahasahashi. Hutoro unahatakarahichisi. Hatakanaha. Achaharoko usanoha. Kotoro unahatita harahati. Ashahaya. Kosunahasa awaha. Itoro unahasakesha. Anahasaya. Last one. Korohoshoyo. Hukanahasisiriata. Anisi anaha. And a breath in for Aum. Aum. Sit here for as long as you like. Nihitakari hakanati arhakaturu hokoto. Maybe even pause the video. So hukuru usha nahe sakahiata. When you are ready, slowly begin to deepen your breath. Slowly bring your consciousness back to the here and now. Maybe invite in some gentle movements. And maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and welcome in the new now. So thank you for the accompaniment. We are right next to a playground, and they have this engine bell. Let's call it an engine bell because East Rochester is a railroad town. And when he started with Svadhisthana ringing the bell, I'm just going, important, important, but he kept going with all the chakras, important, important. Because they all are. They all represent different aspects of us and different aspects of our emotional body, different aspects of our mind. And that's why Samavriti is so important. And Samavriti pranayama is the breath work. Gently reminding us to have an even keel. Gently reminding us to go with the flow. Gently reminding us to have the same mind on attachment, on illusion, on the lies, on the grief, on shame, on guilt, on fear, all the blockers of all the chakras. Guess what? Vyapini and Vasundhara really don't have blockers. We may not be aware of them, but if we're aware that more than this physicality exists, then we are aware of them. And if we understand we get our food from Mother Earth, and that every cell in our body came from Mother Earth, came from the food we eat, came from the food our parents ate. And their parents ate, and their parents ate, and their parents ate, going all the way back. There's a path of energy from our ancestors inside of us, connecting us to Vasundhara. That is. And when we tap into this higher wisdom and tap into Vasundhara, it is easy to tap into our ancestral line, and we can have conversations with any of our ancestors because they are a part of us. Iskononoto, again, important, iskototo. And again with Vyapini, by tapping into Vyapini. And we don't even have to know her name, Vyapini. She's the goddess that's everywhere. She is our connection to the divine through our crown. And these are all just ideas. I mean, by connecting in with our hearts and connecting in with love and patience and kindness and peace, we are connecting in with the divine. And those messages that we wish to receive, comes through that love. One of the interesting things of the wedding yesterday, is like many Christian weddings, they read 1 Corinthians. And the second half of it goes, love is patient, love is kind. But the first part is just as important. The first part is if you have the gift of tongues, yeah, I speak in tongues, light language, and if you do not have love in your heart, you have nothing. I'm paraphrasing. And if you have the gift of prophecy, yeah, I do. Yet you do not have love in your heart. Again, you have nothing. This love that's in our hearts, that is the true essence of our heart center. But it's hard for us. Love is a label too, though. And some people have, this higher value on true love and all different types of love. So we go to the second half of that reading, 1 Corinthians, of all the ways of what's not love. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not boastful, love is not prideful, love is slow to anger. Ishaya atatirata. I remember when I was younger, I didn't like that reading because I'm going, I know what love is. I know what this divine love is. Okay? Clearly not. And now I chuckle. So yes, love is the key. And we're allowing our inner being to show us what this true divine love is. Because if our inner being shows us, and then we understand then, and we allow that true love from our inner being to come through and live through us, life is going to be so easy. It's going to be so rich. It'll be full of love. And then full of ease and full of patience and full of abundance. And then watch how the universe responds. These are just the subtleties of turning off the brain and chanting and allowing the magic of Om Mani Padme Hum to work with our inner being and the light language. And the best part about the light language to me is my brain's not involved. That was why it took so long for light language to come through, because my brain kept wanting to be involved and my ego kept wanting to be involved. And then thanks to Shiny Sean, I went into a little practice hangout. And he did, if I wanted to be judgmental, he did dumb things. He spoke B. So he went, and I said, I could fake that. And so I went, guess what? After 2 seconds, it wasn't me doing the buzzing anymore. And I'm going, whoa. And then he decided to speak binary, which is just ones and zeros. So he just spewed off random ones and zeros. And I'm going, okay, I can fake that too. Okay. And then 10001 100011 and I noticed that after 1 or 2 seconds, it wasn't me spewing out the ones and zeros anymore. And then finally, what made it pop is that I had to do a blessing on somebody. The need for the blessing became more than my ego. I surrendered to the universe. And 6 to 8, I can't remember how many blessings in different languages came out. So I'm going, apparently I speak. I didn't speak for the rest of the weekend, but I was speaking everywhere else, in the grocery store. Walking down the street, running. It was hilarious. Anyway. Thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss. Ikatara arnahatsa tuturu hushayatata. In Shainan, nihara hakaya asisito oro tanawati arata. Harmoniously, joyously, with loving kindness and compassion. Ni tekira tokoro Shainan, nihara hakaya tarata. and make it a great day. Because why would you leave it up? Why would you leave it up to anyone else? It's as simple as that. Isa nati aratatata. Seize, similar to seize the day. Isa hani arata. But I don't want to seize anything. I'm just going to create it. I'm going to roll with it, whatever it is. Have a grand old time. Tiskotura atiarata. That's my wish for you. Notur usakanahiasa atiaratata. Kasaya ahasaniara.